Okay, just a quick video here. I hope this one works. This is a redo of the video for Ed's tool that he poses with at work, as I mentioned before. I've wondered for a very long time what this device is, what it could have been used for. And some weeks ago now I came across a video from 1992. Someone was at Rock Gate and they were filming the tool room, and they got a good picture right from the door of the tool room, and I guess they got the right angle or something. But the large come-along winch device that is hanging on Ed's wall in his tool room, up above the wheel, I took that and I overlaid it over top of here, and it seems this bar, this pipe, matches perfect along with this lever. I believe all the hardware in this device is still hanging up at Ed's place, Rock Gate, also known as Coral Castle. Is this the device here that he was filmed using? I believe all this hardware is the same as in here. It just has a different frame. If you are going to do the overlay, you have to flip the device that is hanging in Ed's tool room upside down, and I believe you have to flip it to the left. Some ideas that I have had for the unit is perhaps Ed could have used it as some sort of a spotting device for the stars. Could tilt it up, look through it, certain stars. I also thought maybe it could be some of Ed's original surveying equipment. And of course, I also thought this could be a winch or a come-along device, but I could not prove it until I finally found that one picture to overlay, which I will have to show sometime here. So one of the ideas that I had was, being that this bar is extended, he could have put it down into the ground, and he could have tied something off from the back here using a pin, or he could have just tied a rope or a chain through the hole and attached it to a tree or a wall or whatever. Then you crank here and you bring in your, this is supposed to be a rope or a cable or a chain, and it wraps around here as you crank. It's like a nice winch unit. And you could winch whatever you would like with it that way, perhaps. The original thought, of course, with him having it leaning up against the wall as is he could pound a pin through there, lean this up against an already existing wall, or piece, a hole in the quarry. And once again, he's going to have a long snipe on here, just like he does in this picture here. He's got a long snipe attached to the bar. Where he's pictured here, I believe there is no snipe on this bar at this point. It always made me wonder, because the picture says at work. We don't know if the newspaper wrote at work or if Ed wrote at work. Right now I am going with Ed wrote the at work, and I do have some theories going with how he wrote that. if indeed he did write that. Anyways, so we'd have a snipe on here, and then he'd crank down on there, and it would be very safe, I suppose, if you're behind a wall, if any cable snapped or anything. And you could probably move whatever weight you would like along. We know that he used logs. We know that he had rails, like log rails. We also know he had stairs, and with stairs it's very easy to make ramps. Another obvious use is right on the ground. Rather than using a chain to tie off back here to something else, you just pound that right in the ground and you can work from wherever you are. Once again, cable wraps around there, put your snipe on there, and away you go. I don't think Ed would have had holes in the wall and he would have moved stuff this way. I just did it this way for aesthetic demonstrational purpose. Another thought I had with the device is after, hold on a sec, let me go back here. So yes, at work, I always wondered why it said at work, because Ed's place was already finished at this point in time when this picture was taken. I am quite sure Ed's place was already done. I believe he is posing with the tool that he moved all of his pieces with, because what else is at work here? Ed is standing there, the tool's leaning up against the wall. Okay, so anyways, another use after all the work and everything was done, moving the stones. We know that he had cable at Ed's place, raised up above. It was suspended from the crescent over to the obelisk, and we could assume back to his first living quarters that he had built at Ed's place. And this would be a perfect way to winch cable and tighten it. And also wind it up after you're done, right? The proper way for this one here is he may have already had a large stone quarried. Pound your pin into there, put your extension into the ground, and once again, away you go. Pull whatever stone you would like with that unit. I believe it cuts off right around in here, and if you look at the original picture, you'll see it looks like it has been connected right in there. Not sure about over here, but I think it all ends right in there. And this branch added a lot more stability because he was pulling a lot more of his larger stones on this property. Perhaps Ed found this one worked better. Now you see the wheels up here, and you can see them, they're little steel rollers. You can also see this hanging up at Ed's place. The way he's got the tool here, I believe the rollers are there, but they're in towards the wall. The wheels themselves are leaning up against the wall there. Another thought I had was Ed could have also used this as a cutting device if he was using a cable. Once again, you have the device laying on the ground, it's pinned in. You got your snipe up on here. And he possibly had cable, a fine cable on here. I guess he's also got some fine chain at Rock Gate that he was using. But if this was the case and he could use this as a cutting tool, this would be a large spool of wire here. Yeah, that's still green. Pretend that's wire or chain. And that comes through and down. It's possible Ed drilled a hole straight through. He would have dug this pit out just rough to get down to the depth he wanted to be at. And then it's possible he drilled a hole straight through to where he needed to be, and then straight down. And then what he may have done is fed the chain or cable through, fished it up through the hole, brought it back, attached to here, and away you go. Perhaps that cut the stone where we don't see any of his cut marks or wedge marks. It is possible. Everything I heard somewhere, he cut a lot of the stone with cable or chain. So it's possible thought that this could also be used as a cutting device. Now, with other thoughts, I thought, with all his rocking chairs that he's got, could have he put the rocking chairs to work somehow? And what I started thinking was, perhaps, if this is like a ratchet in here, he could sit and rock and actually pull large stones just by rocking. Or he could get a number of chairs rocking. Like I said in the last video, I doubt this chair belongs here in this setup. I don't know. I like the 2-chair setup. But we know there's an extension on here. It looks like there's an extension for whatever reason, and perhaps he could have hooked up rockers to it, and away you go. Another thought I had was using the lever itself in a rocking chair. Be right here. And perhaps all Ed would have to do is rock, draw on the line, pull whatever stone he wanted. I'd used logs, stairs can become ramps. Oh, my kitty wants out. I'll throw in a quick added bonus here. One sec there, Belle. Okay. Since the other video screwed up so bad, instead of making 2 videos, I'm going to throw this in at the end. I should mention also that Darren Nemeth actually released a video on YouTube showing this original footage, and it was also shown on a TV show. And over here, from Darren Nemeth's video, or Nemeth, one of the first frames in the video, I noticed you can clearly see all the wedges that Ed used to break out the stones. It's clearly right there. You can see absolutely he pounded in all these wedges using a sledgehammer that we see in his quarry in another picture. He pounded all the wedges in to snap this block up. But as I said before, with the cutter, he would have drilled a hole alongside, like right through here, hole straight down there, and perhaps he could have cut all the other pieces, no problem. And then to snap it from the bottom, he used the wedges. If he was using chain to cut the sides and everything, I'm not sure why he couldn't have used chain to cut the bottom either, though. So it does make one wonder. I'll go more into this later, but I never noticed that before in the video. All the wedges are sitting right there. And there may even be a little bit of footage in there of him pounding them in with his sledgehammer. In that video, I mentioned in another video that it clears up a lot of the pictures. The mystery pictures of Ed at the tripod and everything. All of those photos appear to be taken the same day that Ed was doing these demonstrations. And Ed had his quarry set up and everything for demonstrations to show people how he was moving the stone, well, how he was lifting the stone out of the quarry, and then how he was moving it on logs. That's all in that video. He doesn't show us how he cut it. He may show how he popped it out. Obviously, it shows here. But I don't know if he... Obviously, he probably was demonstrating that to people who came by. How he was popping the coral out of the bed. Alright, hopefully this video works. I'm working with a number of computers and none of them are working proper. This one amazingly doesn't seem to be showing me any lag. I can only hope the audio worked out. Thanks for your time, and I hope to do another video soon.